when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go.
Wrap up your Monday with some laughs. Make sure to join Will, Seven, Dan the Dick Warner, and Josie as they dive into the hottest topics of the week across sports, including baseball, basketball, and the NFL. You can catch the episode live Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, or Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss the Sports Report Podcast.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity.
Oh, hello, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. Your boy William is back, feeling a whole lot better, and we got on two of my bestest friends in the whole wide world. First, they bring on my best friend and the person who runs this network. You make me sick sometimes, though, Josie. Let's bring Josie on. Josie, what's up? That's the oxymoron I ever heard. My bad, Josie. My bad.
What? How do I make you sick? What did I do? You know what makes me sick? I wish both teams could lose this damn game right now.
I know, right? I'm there with you,
I
Joey.
wish both teams. I picked Dallas or picked Tampa Bay just because I can't pick Dallas. I
Can't root for Dallas.
But like, could they both lose? could they both go out?
Hell yeah.
But this just makes it sweeter because I'm going to see Brock Purdy put it on one next week.
Double elimination. Double elimination is what I say. All right, let's go ahead and bring on the second part or the third part of this illustrious trio for tonight. This man knows more baseball than I ever will. Bring my man 7 on 7. What's up?
What is up, homie? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. A lot better.
Glad to have you back.
Here, back in action.
Glad to have you back, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can't leave me with Josie. You can't leave me with Josie anymore. If you're gonna get sick, don't do it on Mondays. This is damn it.
Oh my goodness. Got a lot to talk about tonight. We're gonna get you caught up in the world of baseball. Got football going on right now. Got some wrestling news to get you caught up on. We got a lot to do. But first, let's go to 7 and the 7th inning stretch. See if you got any baseball action.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints.
Wow. I just love that intro. Yes. 7th inning stretch, as always, is sponsored by Gunslinger Soap. Gunslinger Soap is handmade soaps and beard products made without all the junk to pamper your skin. You can go to their website right now, gunslingersoap.com, and sign up to get 15% off of your first order and always free shipping when you spend over $30. That's gunslingersoap.com. Definitely check them out. Baseball news. Carlos Correa is finally signed, settled, and physically passed.
That's crazy.
With the Twins. This dude signed 31 years and $865 million in contracts in the offseason to land back with the Twins. Josie, you spent a lot of time with Correa when he was a Astro banging trash cans. What are your thoughts on the Carlos Correa 31-day saga?
The saga of Carlos Correa. That's just what I started calling it. I saw today I saw a cover for the show, and it was literally Correa in 3 different uniforms.
I saw that.
Hey.
I saw that. I don't normally buy physical games anymore, but I would sure as fuck.
I would totally buy that. The last one I bought, the last show I bought physical copy was 18 when they had Judge on the cover, and I really only bought it because it was I love the cap, the baseball cap that came with it.
I had a physical copy of I think I still have it somewhere. I have a physical copy of 21, and it was because of Shohei.
I did buy 21. I did buy 21 because of Shohei.
I got 21 because of Shohei. But it's interesting the way that things have landed. Scott Boras is saying it's the Mets' fault. The Mets are saying it's Scott Boras's fault. I think the Giants got cold feet. I think the Giants had decided they were going to find a way out of this deal before the physical happened because I think they realized they overpaid Correa. And with the Mets, I think that the physical, whatever it is, there's comments saying he's one rolled ankle away from the end of his career. But this is supposedly related to an injury he hasn't had a problem with since he was in the minor leagues. So
time out real quick. This kicker from Dallas is now. This kicker from Dallas.
He missed another one?
Or he just missed another one.
That boy cut.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
That's Maha, ain't it?
He's about to take it. He's about to take it. He's about to kick it right now.
That's Maha right there. He cut. He gone.
He's missed. No, yeah, he's missed 4. It's a record. Most field goals missed or extra points missed in an NFL game.
If the Buccaneers come back in that game, Tom Brady had better win
it by 4.
If the Bucs win this game, I don't care what the score is. If the Bucs win this game, Greg Maher had better be on Tom Brady's Christmas list for the rest of his fucking life. Because here's the thing. We'll get back to baseball. That is rattling to a team when you can't rely on your kicker because it's Tom Brady. There is always a chance that motherfucker's going to come back.
Yeah.
And if it comes down to a field goal kick, these guys are going to be shitting their pants. They don't want it to come down to a field goal kick, especially not now with 4 minutes. That's insane. That's
done.
I'll talk about this more when we get into the huddle.
But
yeah, sorry. But
well, I did want to say no. Dax's reaction after the third miss, right before half.
mm-hmm.
Dax was sick. I read those lips. I read those lips. He was saying some. He was talking like we talk on this show.
He was saying some shit you're not supposed to say on TV. That's for sure. There's a reason his mic was off.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Dang.
Okay. All right. So back on the baseball. Carlos Correa is signed. That is a done deal. He will be Twins. Twins organization. The fan base loves Correa. So I think that I think that this is a good fit. I follow a couple of Twins fans on Twitter just for the baseball commentary, and them and the other ones that I've seen just in extension have all been wanting him to come back. And so I think this will be a good fit for him in the organization. I hope that the injury stuff was really not that big of a deal, but if it was, I get why these guys are really trying to make sure they protect themselves.
My dad was reading me an article today that said that it's his ankle. It's the ankle. It is from that injury from the minor leagues. It was in 2014 with the Astro minor league team. And the Twins are worried about it too because they signed him a 6-year deal. It also has another 6-year option attached to it for another 200 and something million.
Right, and and I believe it's all based on whether or not he gets injured.
And he has to get a physical every year. Has to have a physical every year. Which
that makes perfect sense.
It makes total sense. If you've got two teams passed on you, and I kind of agree with you, Seven. I think the Giants got cold feet. That's a long time for a lot. And then you find out that you have reason to be worried that he may not make it. And we all saw what happened to what was it? What's that player you always bring up, Seven? That got the big deal and then never played another game. I can't think of the name now.
Oh,
wasn't it a pitcher?
Are you talking about Chris Sale?
Yes, Sale. That was only a couple of years ago, so that's still really on everybody's mind. And that's the thing about that's the thing about these giant deals, these giant long-term deals, is you never know the future. What's going to happen, but when you obviously have a worry there with Correa and his leg, he needs to be getting a physical every single year, and I'd be surprised if Twins take that option in the 6th year. Like, I'd be really surprised.
It's ultimately going to depend on results, man, and that's the thing is one of the the thing that makes sense for me. And I get, with baseball, one of the things that's very important about baseball is all contracts are guaranteed. And I think it's one of the reasons why teams get nervous when you have an injury concern like this. But, also I remember Big Papi in Boston, and I'm going to speak to Boston specifically. Through the back half of his tenure with Boston, he was very, his contracts were incentive and health-based. When you're an older player, it makes sense. But I think that all it's important for the player to get paid if they are healthy and they are producing when they're older.
And that's the other thing. Correa is not a young dog anymore. He's getting up there.
I mean, by baseball standards, he's in his prime right now. Because he's 28. He's 28.
Oh, I thought he was older.
No, he's 28. He is in his prime right now. And I think that's why there's so much concern, is because if you can get his prime out of him, he's worth every dime of that 12 years and $450 million, whatever it ends up being. I don't give a fuck. He's worth it because that is an elite player if you get everything you can out of him in his prime at a top tier level. But if the injury does become a concern, you still have an out.
Mm-hmm.
And, an eject button spot where you can save some money, which is completely reasonable. I think this is a very business savvy way to do it. And honestly, I'm interested to see what this does to Scott Boris's reputation as an agent, because I would be willing to bet that if something had been done last year for Correa, he'd be on a long-term deal that would not have these injury and physical requirements in the contract.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that. And so I wonder if this is going to put some question marks on the credibility of Scott Boras, because this is really the first flaw in the armor, if you will, of what Boras has projected as an agent of the players over the years.
Well,
what do you think, Will?
Go ahead.
He's been a really good agent, like you said, over the years. But my thing is, these clubs want protection against injury, and that's what we got going on here. And
it makes sense.
And I don't think and I agree with Josie. I don't think he lasts past that option, that 6-year option. I don't think he does.
At 6 years,
he's 34.
At 6 years, he's 34, and you're definitely coming to that point. I would say by prime for a baseball player is between 27 to 30. So by that time, you're definitely seeing some downgrade. And I just
go ahead. Sorry,
don't see. No, you're good. I don't see an offer like that. Now they may re-sign him for more, but I doubt they take the option.
Yeah, I doubt it too.
I mean, and here's the thing. It's because I think at that point, if he's still playing, there's a pretty high chance that he's going to be a DH. Yes. And
that's a good point.
Or utility, when just a veteran presence in the clubhouse. And
yeah,
the truth of the matter is, when you've got a player like that, if they're producing, they're still worth that money in that kind of a contract. And it's still worth it to pick up the option, because what team wouldn't want to have a 38-year-old Mike Trout who's still going to do well, or the Albert Pujols effect?
But not saying it's not possible, but when you
go ahead.
34 sorry. To play at a high level like that, I don't know, because we're not talking about LeBron James here, who still looks fantastic in year 20.
Year 20,
killing it. Not everybody's LeBron or Brady.
I mean, we could talk about Brady, who is down 24-0 right now and about to take his first loss ever to Dallas.
That first L.
I'm going to talk about Brady come
that big old L. But that's my thing about this, is the fact that, by the time you get to year 6, he's 34. Chances are he's not playing a high level. So if you're not playing
on the field, probably not. No, absolutely.
No.
That is definitely
swinging a bat at a high level, but doubtful he's still playing. Shortstop is one of the most difficult positions in baseball. Period.
It is.
It's about to be even harder now that they're taking away. They're taking. I can't. God, my brain is not working tonight.
The shift, now that the shift is going away,
it's going to make that position even more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's a young man's position, and that's why I said his ability at the plate is going to be crucial to how much out of this deal he really gets. And I think that when you have a more incentive-based contract, like, he's going to get decent money, but he's going to get money if he produces at the plate. Because at 28 as a shortstop, you've probably got 3 years with him on the field, and then you can start using him as a utility, probably put him in the outfield for some games, put him in the left because you won't see a lot of action. And still, that way you're not using him as solely your DH. Maybe you rotate him on and off the field in that with using that DH role at that point. But that's his production at the plate is going to be crucial. He's got to be hitting, I would say, what it's going to take for this deal to go past the $3 super sticker.
Thank
it's going
you.
to take.
Thank you, Mr. Rustin. We appreciate it. Thank you.
That's a friend of mine. Don't block him.
Oh, sorry. I'll unblock that. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Rustin.
We got a lot of spam.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's a buddy of mine. But if he hits north of 280 over the course of the next 6 seasons, and I'm talking over the next 6 years, north of 2, you're probably looking to see north of 100. Then we're going to see more out of that 6 years. But unless somehow he's staying on the field in, the Tom Brady equivalent of a shortstop type scenario, if he's not hitting and producing 20 home run, 20 stolen base seasons, I at that point, no, we're not getting anything out. We're not getting anything out of that past that 6 years.
Right. And even then, and even then, God knows, you just gotta hope, and you knock on wood, that he doesn't hurt himself again, because that can be an even shortened time if he gets hurt again.
Absolutely. No, you're 100% correct. And so it's just a matter of, and that's why being and production is going to be key.
Gotta be.
And don't go down because of that ankle.
Yeah.
Tear an ACL, I mean, I wouldn't wish an ACL tear on anybody, but you want pretty much anything but an ankle issue. And before, if you go down, because if you go down because of that ankle, you're host. Just done.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely Dunsky. So
yep. So, knock on wood. Don't get
knock
hurt
on wood.
again.
I hope he gets healthy. I hope he has a great career. He's a very talented shortstop. I would have loved to have seen him in Boston.
He needs to be doing that, LeBron, and putting $1 million into his recovery and strengthening up. That whatever is the issue with that ankle, he needs to be doing everything he can to strengthen it up.
But get that insurance policy too.
The health is going to be so goddamn crucial for him. And I hope he stays healthy, because that's a good sign for the Twins organization. Their fan base has suffered for a while. With the exception of being able to be in a few baseball movies, they haven't really gotten to do very much. And so I know that their fan base would like to see some success, and not just making it into the playoffs, but making an actual World Series run. And I hope for them that they get the opportunity to make that to make that happen.
Now, let me ask you this question. What is it with the Twins exactly? Is it just the front office or organization, a bad farm system? What's been Minnesota's problem
they're
over
one
a
of
couple
the
of years?
smallest market teams in baseball.
There's no such thing as a small market team. Anyway, and it's, I think
you
it's
found that out this year or this past season.
Exactly.
You found out
Exactly. It's for me. For me, the thing of it is this: when I think about the Twins as an organization, they've had spots of success, but they've never had consistent success. Right. And I think that's really the struggle with a franchise, is because you look at when you look at the 30 baseball teams across Major League Baseball, you almost have a pretty even divide of teams that are consistently successful and teams that are inconsistently successful or not successful. And that inconsistent success is why they are not considered a larger market team. And you have to develop even 4 or 5 years where you're at least a playoff team and people are your players are becoming more of household names.
Right.
And just delivering consistency. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not 5 World Series in 5 years is what it's going to take to bring it back. No, 1 World Series and, at least consistently making the playoffs, or at least getting to a World Series consistently, in 5, make it to the World Series 3 times. You win at games. That's pretty fucking good. I think the just need to see some consistency in the success.
All right. Thank you, Seven. We appreciate you, brother. Let's go ahead and move on to the heart. Even though Dan's not here, let's go ahead and move on to the hardwood. I got a few things.
All right. Give me 1 sec.
Okay. The thing, everybody knows I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. I'm not a huge fan of Zach LaVine. He just rescinded his no trade clause, meaning he can be traded from the Bulls. The Bulls right now are on the 10th seed of the Eastern Conference. They need a lot of help. We do have kind of like a little a moral victory against the Golden State Warriors, but the Golden State Warriors also, I think, 1-10 against the Eastern Conference. So he did renege on that, making him tradable to any team. And I think the Bulls really need to move him, because my issue is that LaVine, he's not the most headiest. He's not the most IQ person on the court, and B, he's not the most consistent performer. Yeah, he's a star, but the difference between being a star and a superstar is the fact that you have consistency. And I know Dan likes him because he can jump out the gym, but sometimes that's not enough. So hopefully the Bulls can trade him. They got a lot of issues they need to shore up. They need to get a better point guard play, get some help from DeRozan. Vucevic came up big the other day with a 43-point game. See if he can continue that, but they need some serious help. Also, going over to the West very quickly, we are still looking at Lakers actually got worse. They're 19-24.
I'm telling you, the only good thing about the Lakers right now is the way LeBron's playing.
Yeah.
That is literally the only positive. And I feel so bad for that man because he's putting up, like we were saying, like what he's doing in year 20 is nuts. It's crazy.
Yep.
But to have no backup and to literally put the team up by 10, 15 points and go sit down to take a breath for 5-6 minutes and they blow that entire lead. Like, I just don't know how you get around that. And he wants so bad to stay in LA, but if LA can't get him some damn help, like, we all know AD getting hurt is like taxes and death. It's going to happen.
And I don't see how they can get any help. They have no cap room. They have no one. They have no one to trade. So I don't see how they can
your
get
only
better.
trade option. Which who's going to want the rubber band man that can't stay healthy?
Crazy.
I think AD could get moved. Personally. I think AD gets moved. It's possible because AD is most potential for return. Realistically, at this point, AD is your. I don't think it's something that you really want to do if you're. I think it's something that you need to do, change things up because I don't realistically going to be able to move for Russell, not and get anything. Get reasonable for him, or not without having to give up that pick that you're trying to at least have something. You know that it. Draft picks in the NBA is almost a crapshoot as Major League Baseball, but trying to hold on to that so they can build something from within. So I like but Dan said at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of this season for the Lakers until the trade deadline. I think we have to kind of wait and see what happens at that point. It just they can see what happens when deals are more possible.
Yes. And also,
sorry, you were correctly banned.
Sorry, we have I've got one on Twitch right now that I can't ban. So
I did get him hidden. So you should his chat should be coming through. I don't understand what they're coming through.
That one just won't come back. As long as you got him on hidden, he should be able to comment now. But that
he should be able to comment now. Yeah, he should be able to. Okay. But yeah, the Lakers are in trouble. 19-24. They are right at 13th in the Western Conference. So with Denver leading the way at 30-13. Shout out to Denver and my boy Joker. My boy Jokic. He's killing it right now. He's killing it. What's going on with Atlanta with Trae Young and Nate McMillan? What's going on in Atlanta? Those two guys aren't getting along at all.
I know I know very little about basketball.
The coach, it's a situation with the coach and the player not getting along. The coach wants him to whatever Trae needs to do in terms of coming off the bench or starting, and that's what they want him to do from the eyes of the coaching staff. Trae's saying, no, I'm a starter and that's it. And I don't understand these players now. I don't get it. you should be able to do whatever is needed of you by your head coach.
It comes with those large contracts and these big personalities of these guys who just feel like they are bigger than the team. And one thing we've got to get back to in all these sports is everything is a team sport. Basketball, baseball, football. If you want to be about yourself, go wrestle. That's about one of the only sports where or go play some tennis or go play some golf. Like those are your options.
Here, I think with Trae Young, I honestly, and I had said previously a year or two ago that I didn't think Trae Young was going to stay where, and I think Atlanta is kind of sick of Trae Young. I think this is one of those things where this is just, there needs to be a divorce. And I'm not going to say anything against the ability of Trae Young. I understand why he feels the way he does, but I understand why Atlanta is trying to change things up. So I think that ultimately Trae Young will probably get moved at the deadline. I think it will be the biggest trade of the year. And I think that getting Trae Young into LA would probably be the only way the Lakers are giving up. But I don't think LA has anywhere near enough to necessitate being a buyer in that kind of a trade. But I do think that Trae Young will get moved.
Trae needs to realize, hey, listen, you are so limited in what you can do. Yes, offensively, you're okay, but on the defensive side, you're a liability. He's a smaller guard. He's young, but he's a smaller guard. He relies on speed and athleticism. He can get streaky from time to time, but he's a liability on the defensive end because of that size. So you need to really, really get it together. Because Atlanta is the type of city, they'll accept you to a certain point. But once you get past that, nah, you gone. you gone. So
it's like the New York Light, really. That's the way I described it at the Atlanta market.
Yeah.
It's a slightly less aggressive and greasy version of the New York fan bases. They'll accept you as long as you're producing.
As someone who's lived in Georgia, that entire state is like that. Like, I was living in Georgia when the Dogs weren't good. And, like, to listen to their fans, the way their fans will talk about you if they think you're more of a liability than you are a help, you nailed it right on the head, Seven. It's like a New York or LA light. Like, it really is. And then I would say outside of those two cities that I just mentioned, Atlanta is probably one of your big, like, it's a big destination city and getting bigger all the time.
Yeah.
Hopefully Trae can get it together. Hopefully he can, because the man is awesome when he's on. He's an awesome player when he's on.
For sure.
He's hitting that three. He's attacking the board. He can be an awesome player, but I need him to get it together. Also start playing a little bit more effort on the defensive end too. Ja Morant's a small dude, but you see Ja is also out there putting in work on that defensive end for Memphis. So hopefully Trae can get it together.
If you don't want to play defense, go play for Houston.
I think, by the way, quick aside, they were talking about it on Undisputed this morning, and I was kind of looking at it, and I'm starting to agree. Ja Morant is now the best in-game dunker.
You gonna get some pushback on that?
You're gonna get some
I don't
on that one.
I don't give a fuck who.
That.
Watch his dunk from, it was last Saturday night. I can't remember what night it was. They were talking about it on Undisputed this morning. Dude is doing dunks that are good in the dunk contest and pulling them off in game. In game. And I'm not, and I know Dan's going to talk about, what was it, Zach LaVine, the dunk contest.
Dan's not here to defend, so.
and I'm not gonna argue dunk contest. in game.
In game.
John Morant right now.
Gotta see. Man, that's tough. That's tough for me. That's tough for me.
And like I said, in game right now. I'm not gonna say ever.
I think Ja's one of them, but I don't think he's the best. I mean, that's kind of tough.
Who else right now is doing it? To the level that Ja is.
I mean, I ain't no fan, but go back and look at a healthy Zion.
Okay, outside of that dunk against the Suns, what has he? What? And yes, he's getting there, and he's putting some in, and he's posterized a couple of people. But has he done? So let me ask this: is there another dunk this year that Zion has done that is better than that one he did? That one he did against the Suns.
I gotta give you that. That one against the Suns was the best. That was the best dunk he done all year, and that was a revenge dunk.
It was.
So far, Zion is proving to be a young AD. He can't stay healthy. He's hurt every year. Every year
he's
spends time.
Yeah.
Every year he spends time on the bench.
For an injury. Weight.
I mean, I agree with that. For a basketball player, he's not Shaq. He's not up there.
He has lost some weight, but I think he needs to lose. I think he would probably benefit from losing another 15 to 20 pounds.
You can't be 6'7", near three.
Not in the NBA. That's NFL numbers.
If you're gonna be a defensive end, I got you. If you're gonna be a lineman, I got you. Yeah. But in the NBA, where you have to pivot and run the floor, you need to lose some weight.
I am 6'5", 200. Right now, I'm sitting right around 230, and the heaviest I've been in my life was 270. And I tell you, that 300 number scares the crap out of me. One, because at our size, 300 pounds is a lot of weight on those knees. A lot of weight on those knees. I have knee issues. I've never been that big. So, and then you add 300, 6'7" on a guy who's constantly jumping on his knees, he won't last 10 years before he needs knee replacement. Which that's a death sentence in NBA.
Very true. Yeah. And I hope that we get more out of Zion. I would like to see him get through a good, healthy stretch, at least for a few years, so he can really show his ability. But right now, it doesn't look like anything's going to come to fruition in that regard. And that really, that kind of sucks for basketball as a whole.
NBA
also,
from NBA.com, he's listed at 6'6", 284 pounds.
Yeah, like I said, if that's accurate, 20 pounds at a minimum.
Yeah.
Probably 25 to 30, but 20 pounds.
Yeah.
And I can't stand BMI. I think it's crap. At 6'5", BMI says I should be 195, which I've been.
You would look like a crack whore.
I do.
You really would.
When I was in the military, I got the lowest weight I've been in my adult life. I was 160, and I did. I looked like a crackhead. Truly.
What?
Yeah.
160 at 6'5"?
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
When I came out of AIT, not an ounce of muscle on me. Not one single shred. I'll show you all a picture later. I look sickly.
That's anorexic.
That's not healthy.
That's anorexic.
Borderline, but yeah, that's oh man.
And so yeah, his BMI is probably going to say for his height. I think my dad is 6'7", and I think it says 215 for him. And again, no, it's 200 even. My dad sits at 215 and does look sickly. And so, but you do have to lose some weight because his body's he won't make it another 5 years.
His knees aren't built to handle that kind of stress. Not with that much weight.
Well, we got to update real quick. We got to upgrade real quick, guys. Tampa Bay just got on the board, 24-6.
Well, they just scored a 2-pointer too. Or no, they missed it. They missed it. And Brady's trying to call a holding. Brady's trying to get a holding call.
Can you imagine if Tampa Bay comes back and win this game?
They're now starting the fourth quarter. I know he can do it. He is the GOAT. And we're about to go to the huddle anyway. But
imagine Skip Bayless.
Oh my God.
Ooh-wee. I'm pounding the table right now.
But then Dallas just returned it to the 40 on that kickoff. So
I think no matter what happens tomorrow, Skip Bayless is going to be very, very confused because it looks like his Cowboys are going to win, and that's great. But but Tom Brady, who he at this point, I'm pretty sure if
his
Tom
baby
Brady
daddy
was like, I'm gay,
his baby daddy.
I'm pretty sure if Tom Brady came out tomorrow as like, you know what, after Giselle, I'm done with chicks. I only want dudes.
Skip would be at his door.
All right,
Skip
guys.
would be like, I could suck a goat dick.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this football because we got a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and move.
Actually, Will, you mind if we do Fight Night real quick?
Yeah. Let's do Fight Night real quick.
Just because it's not going to be very long.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? We're going to take a really quick break, then come back with Fight Night.
Okay.
I support that.
We support it.
Don't miss Fight Night. Every Tuesday night, Will Morgan and Josie Haney break down the hottest topics of the week across combat sports, including UFC, boxing, WWE, AEW, and more. Past episodes are available on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, and each episode will air again Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss Fight Night. Tune in or tap out. It's time for more dick, more snacks, and more basketball talk on the hardwood. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, you can catch them live on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast. Join them as they break down the hottest topics of the week in the NBA, along with the age-old argument on LeBron versus Jordan. This ain't one of Shaq's free throws. Don't miss it. Put the kids to bed, put on your shades, and crack open a cold one during Sports Report After Dark with Seven and Dan the Dick Warner. You can catch After Dark Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, and again Saturday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. We believe that athletes are people too, and Skip Bayless is one of the lizard people. Don't miss Sports Report After Dark.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let's get into Sports Report Fight Night. We had a lot to go over with professional wrestling. Let's get into it.
It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I win the crown.
I'm so disappointed. Josie, I'm so disappointed, Josie. I'm so disappointed.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna talk a little bit about. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're upset about. But real quick, last week during Fight Night, as me and Stax were covering, it was reported that WWE had sold to Saudi. It looks like we have no idea what happened. I've heard multiple different rumors. I've heard that
Me too.
I heard the deal fell through because Vince was asking for too much money. I've heard that there was really actually no deal in place. I've heard a lot of things. All of it could be true. I would fully bet that Vince is asking for 10, 15 million, knowing that billion, knowing that the Saudis can afford it, and them just being like, no. Now I'm hearing reports that Vince is thinking about not selling. That Triple H brought him a list of people that would quit if he sold, and
they did have a talent meeting today.
They had a talent meeting Friday, right before SmackDown.
Today too.
They had another one today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know they had a talent meeting before SmackDown, and Triple H said that he will still be in charge of creative and all that. He did leave it at the end that said, you never know what's going to happen. He pretty much left it open. And in WWE, that you got to live by that. As long as Vince is in charge, you just never know what the old man is going to, when he's going to get a wild hair and just be back in Gorilla.
So you heard that he wanted 10 to 15 million?
I've heard that there was 10 to 15 billion.
Billion. Okay.
Billion.
Okay.
Can
we get that much for Dan?
Well, the company is evaluated at 5.
Can we get that much for Dan?
I'll sell Dan for $50 and an eighth of weed.
I was gonna say, and
he may be my best friend, but $50 and an eighth of weed is $50 and an eighth of weed. He'd trade me for probably less. So I don't feel
for $10 and a cigarette.
There you go.
Say he'd probably just ask for the weed.
But go ahead, Josie.
So I've heard that, I don't know a range. I've heard that he was offering somewhere north of 10 billion, or asking somewhere north of 10 billion. The other thing with him selling to Saudi is Vince is 100% back in control, 1,000%. They want to take the company private. He would have no board to report to. So, but when we were talking about it last Tuesday, the list of people was already coming up that would quit. The first one that came to my head is Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is a hard proponent for Palestine and totally against Saudi Arabia. Has never been to a show, has never done anything on any of theirs, and never gotten any bit of the Saudi blood money. If they sold, he would be quitting the next day. Along with him, I believe Reigns, Uso, Solo, Kevin Owens, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Of FTR. FTR won't do it because they were part of the hostage situation a couple of years ago.
Yes.
So,
and it also puts the women in a bad spot too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's my thing is like, WWE selling to the Saudi investment fund. Or the Saudi Public Investment Fund.
Saudi Public is basically it is the financial arm of the Saudi
government.
Saudi government.
And you're putting a lot of people. How many people that work for WE on and behind the scenes are Jewish?
Oh yeah,
right.
There's not a single one of those individuals that are going to stay working for a Saudi company. It's not going to happen.
Well, then let's also
and it's not reasonable to expect him to.
And then also let's look at the female side. Who wants
exactly?
Who wants to see
real quick? No meaning to interrupt. Dallas scored another touchdown. Score is now 31-6. Maher finally looked like he could.
He hit one. Did he hit one?
It looked like he hit an extra point.
Yeah, because it's 31-6.
And make it 31-6.
I swear, if he went 5, he wouldn't have made it.
Yeah. But
he would have been the first. He would have been the most recent player to get cut during the game.
Oh yeah. Dak Prescott killing it right now. 4 TDs. He's killing it. Go ahead.
But bodysuits, and then on top of that, the bodysuits aren't the end. Girls like Natalya, big-breasted women, still had to wear T-shirts over the bodysuit. So, what it would do as far as the growth that the women's division has seen in WWE in the last 5 to 10 years would totally kill all that. At this point, I've heard nothing else. I think Saudi is out, honestly. I think the backlash that Vince saw in just that 10 hours, 15 hours killed any chance of that happening. Yes, sir.
Would any of you put it past Vince McMahon to go to the Saudis and be like, hey, this isn't going to happen, but I want to fuck with some people so that it's less, so that my return is less about the fact that I just forced my way back in after I was forced out and more about, I'm good to dirties.
Yeah, I mean,
and they were just sure, bro, we got you. Let's fuck with some Americans.
They have a $50 million deal with them. So, and they still got another 5 years, I think, of shows. I think they're halfway through.
There is nothing in me that because when you think about it from a business side, the Saudis buying WWE is absolutely horrible. The brand dies overnight, basically. Just that quick.
There's only one positive of the Saudis owning it, and is money is no object anymore. They could literally offer a free agent any amount of money they wanted. They would have shows to rival some of the biggest bands in the world. Every show would be the biggest production. Every show would be WrestleMania. Like pyro would not be cut anymore. Like it'd be crazy. That's literally the only positive.
Yeah, but there's no value in having unlimited money when you are completely dividing your fan base.
And when half your talent leaves you.
And you're gonna lose half your talent. You're gonna lose at least half your fan base that quick. Like I said, the value of WWE from the $4.8 billion that it was estimated to be at,
the evaluation
below below half a billion inside of 30 days. Oh, seriously.
Easy. We were saying it last week. Me and Stax were both saying, and we had a friend of mine on, Brandon, who was saying the same thing. If the sale went through, we're done. I would not watch another thing of WWE until I just wouldn't do it. It hasn't. It's not even a political side of me. I believe that would be the death nail of the company because one, if everything was true, what we read, that puts Vince back in charge of creative, which is the worst thing that can happen to WWE right now.
Absolutely.
On top of that sale, the two worst things that happen are the sale and Vince in charge of creative. And I think even Vince knows that.
So there was another one that I had seen where the cons were interested.
So that was going to be my next thing. It did come out this week, and this one I believe, because it was the sister publication of the Wall Street Journal that published it. So this one is truth. Yes, Shad and Tony are interested in making an offer, even to a point of giving Vince a position in the company with the offer. So I'd
give him more to go away, honestly.
That'd be me. I'd be like, here, we'll buy it, and then we will pay you to stay home.
You can record your segments from your house.
Yes.
Green screen, you stand there, you record your part. We'll have our audio guys and video guys fix it.
Vince hasn't wanted to be on camera in years. He doesn't like how he looks anymore. He doesn't want to be on camera. He hasn't wanted to be on camera in 5 years. So you don't even have to worry about that. But yeah, I'd give him a position on the business side. Because yes, business-wise, wrestling, there's probably not a better mind. Even his senile old mind is still an amazing wrestling mind. But he needs to be nowhere near creative and nowhere near an on-screen role.
I can back that.
But I have heard in Vegas, they're not taking odds on it. The odds-on favorites are Comcast, Fox, and Disney. I've made my comments. To me, I would love to see Tony Khan and Shad Khan buy it, just because I would love to see what they would do with it.
Hey, let me jump in. I don't know if Fox would buy it, because right now Fox is taking a loss on SmackDown.
Well, and that's the other thing is I thought Vince would want to negotiate the TV deals first, because that's going to increase your value.
Right.
But from what I've heard, he's wanting to sell first and then negotiate the TV.
It don't make no sense.
I don't understand it.
I think because of the fact that Fox is taking an L right now on SmackDown, he's
Taking a
you know,
huge L.
and so here's my thing though. If on the cons buying it, because I think it's the best case scenario for the brand.
Yes.
But I also have a question. If the cons have had this kind of money to buy WWE, why hasn't that been invested into AEW?
I mean, the amount of money that has been put in has not been said. Now, AEW is probably going to see their first year in the black this year. Like, this is going to probably be the first year they make a profit. And again, Shad has a lot of money, and I feel like they've dumped a lot. I mean, he's easily probably put several $1 million, somewhere probably in the $50 million range.
But I think if that happens, don't mean to cut you off, but I think if that happens too, you still lose people. I think Triple H might be gone at that point because you lose faith in him as creative. I think some of the other talent, particularly your newest talent like NXT, might not see, hey, if you do that, your roster just, unless you keep everything separate, your roster just exploded. But and people are going to see that they're not going to have that opportunity, so they may look elsewhere.
But see, the thing is, you're not going to have elsewhere anymore. Like,
that's exactly what I was about to say.
You still would, though. You won't have it at that level, but you'll still have other options you can go to.
You go back to a pre-AEW style.
Yeah.
That's what you go back to.
That's exactly what you go back to.
You're not going to make anywhere near as much money or near as much resources.
Yeah.
And
I
don't think it would be that much.
What's going to be the tale of two ends? But what's going to be the tale of two ends?
You don't combine them. You do leave them separate. If I'm TK, I leave Triple H, pretty much leave the structure just how it is. I think that's your best bet.
You would have to.
In that you would still have two separate products, but you would be able to do crazy things. You'd be able to see a Shield reunion on AEW. You'd be able to see Jericho Appreciation Society on WWE. It would revitalize both products because you'd be able to see dream matches that people never thought would happen. Roman Reigns versus Moxley in an AEW ring.
I just think that
Rollins versus MJF.
But I can't see Fox doing it. I
don't think it's Fox. I really don't.
I can't see Disney doing it. Maybe Comcast.
Maybe Comcast. I've said the same companies, and to me, it's NBC because they already own the library with Peacock.
Yep.
They have a deal with USA for NXT and Raw.
Yep.
And I think that makes the most sense, honestly. The other one is Amazon. Now, I have my issues with Amazon. I don't know how you take the WWE product to a streaming service. It's not like in Thursday Night Football. You have to have TV deals for Raw and SmackDown. You have to, or the company dies.
Yep.
Well, but if Bezos buys it and leaves it as its own separate company and leaves it running how it is now, and then maybe you work out something where you've got new content that's going to just Prime specifically, or yes, it's on the networks, but we're also going to run it on Prime, or all of the pay-per-views are not pay-per-views anymore. You buy them on Prime. There are things what they do with Peacock while leaving it right, which is, so there's plenty.
I'm sorry, Seven. WWE doesn't even call them pay-per-views anymore. They're premium live events because they don't have a pay-per-view service anymore.
Exactly. So I think that the cons is the best case scenario, but I'm with you. NBC makes the most sense as far as networks are concerned.
Yeah. So there's still remains to be seen what's going to happen with that. Real quick, I do want to dive into Impact, Hard to Kill. They did it again. I'm telling you, no one can put on a better pay-per-view right now than Impact. One, they sold out that venue.
Yep, that's number one.
Two, put on a killer show.
And number 3, my boy is back.
DOA, baby.
Baby,
The
he is
DOA
back.
of
He is
Impact.
back. I am the head of the. I am the authority figure. I'm director of authority.
I love it. I love it. I love me
I love
some
it, man.
Santino Marella.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love this. I love me Santino. He also looks like he's going to be making his debut in NWA here in the next couple of weeks.
They got talent in that. They got talent in that.
Oh my God! You said that thing today.
Champion. You know, and I don't mean to be personal with Tyrus because I think he's a good dude at heart.
No,
I just
not.
think I think he's a good dude at heart. I just think he's the wrong person to be champion.
I can't stand the man. Period. Like his stuff on Fox News is just.
I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen. I just seen certain promos. I haven't seen any Fox News stuff.
He's a MAGA. He's a MAGA Republican.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
He's a MAGA Republican.
Okay. But yeah, I just don't think he's the right person to be champion over there. I really don't.
Agree.
That's too much talent. Real quick, my girl Big Mama Swole lost to Mickey, but I don't think that loss hurts her.
It doesn't. And honestly, I believe Jordan Grace's contract's just about up with Impact. And if I'm Jordan Grace, I've loved you in Impact. You've been a dominant champion. One of the best things in Impact over the last couple of years, but it's time to go to either AEW or WWE. I really don't think she's fit for WWE. Unless they could use her right, which would be in a China role, but they're not doing that with Rhea like they should right now.
No.
So I don't think they do it with her. So I think the best place for her to go would be AEW. Also Josh motherfucking Alexander. That match with Bully was so good.
Yep.
Like Full Metal Mayhem, so good. Tommy turning on Bully was amazing. And yeah, he's now the longest reigning Impact World Champion of all time, beating out people like Kurt Angle, Sting, and the phenomenal AJ Styles.
And it looks like Sting's going to
phenomenal.
Enter phenomenal. And real quick to end this, it looks like Sting's going to retire after this year.
It's pretty much been said.
Yeah.
He did an interview a couple of weeks ago saying that he won't do any more singles matches, that his retirement match will include Darby, which I think is right. Because if it's not for Sting, Darby's not as popular as he is right now.
All right. He put Darby on the map.
He did. He put Darby on the map. Darby's now a 2-time TNT champion. If there is a singles match, it needs to be Darby versus Sting. One other thing I wanted to mention before we get out of here. Did you hear about Kaz? Did you hear about Kazarian?
Yeah, he signed.
So he signed with Impact, but he ended up asking for his release for AEW, and he dropped some shade too. Basically, dropped some shade at the Bucks, saying that he just didn't feel like he was appreciated over there and weren't good friends, basically. And so, yeah, he signed a long-term deal with Impact. I love this for him. He's synonymous with that company.
Yep. A lot of history there.
A lot of history there. And I would love to see him hold that world title one time. So I think this was a good move for him. Unfortunately, I do love AEW, but they do have a super bloated roster, and guys like Kazarian aren't going to get the main slot.
No.
As much as I love Kaz, I always have, he's just not going to get the main slot.
No.
And you also got to remember, part of the inaugural AEW World Tag Team Champions was Scorpio Sky. So he will always have history there. But I think this was a good move for him. Again, Impact killing it. Another really solid pay-per-view. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow.
But see, this is why I think Jordan stays. I think she extends because she won't have the same impact anywhere else that she does in Impact.
I mean, you're right. I think she could be a top lady in the AEW women's division. It'll
just take us so long to get there and break through the minutia.
Time, but I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But we'll talk more of this and a lot of a lot of others stuff on Fight Night tomorrow, 10/9 Central. make sure you check that. And since Dan's not here, but that.
You know what we need to do? What we need to do is we need to get Dan saying LeBron onto Will's soundboard so that if he misses an episode,
Yeah.
we can still press a LeBron button and it's Dan voice saying LeBron.
Because literally
He's
the
not
only
here,
time
bam.
it's not on a show is when he's not here. Even though Seven just covered it today.
I mean,
All right, you guys, let's go ahead and move on to the huddle. We got a lot to talk about. You know the
Let's
game
just-
I'm gonna go right to. You know the game I'm gonna go right to.
Let's just start with it.
But I'm throwing you a curve. I'm going to Jacksonville and the Chargers.
Woo-hoo!
And that game right there was just sick. Chargers had a huge lead, 27-0. 27-0.
Big
Jacksonville comes back and win
comeback
31
in
to 30.
NFL playoff history.
Bruh.
nope. Third
Playoffs.
biggest. Third.
But in the playoffs, it was
Third.
Oh,
Because there's been two others. The one with Kansas City and the Colts in 2013 was
I remember
28
that
points.
I remember that one.
And then there was another one that was, I think it was 29 or 30 in like 90, 92, something like that. But here's the thing.
I thought Matt Ryan was on that field.
Damn.
The Chargers had
Damn.
27 points, right? 27 points. 21 of those points came off of those three interceptions.
Yep.
Or off of three of the interceptions. Okay.
Four.
But you know, and Trevor Lawrence did 4, but here's the thing. The proof is that the proof that the Chargers really didn't do as well in that game, and it was more about Trevor Lawrence's nerves than anything else, is the fact that you had 4 interceptions that you got 21 points off of, and the final score of the game, you only had 27 points.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
30.
but that is your problem. That's your that's it. That's the end of it. Because in truth, if the Chargers were kicking as much ass as they acted like they were in the first half, this should have been the Chargers should have put up 50 on it.
Yeah.
And this is
and-
why I say Sean Payton is on his way to the Chargers. Because if you look at that team, they don't have a winning culture in that organization at all.
You got a top 5 QB. Top 5.
You know what though? I'm starting to question that because in this game, if you look at his season, he hasn't been that potent this season to be considered a top 5 quarterback. Go back and look at him in this game. He only threw 1 touchdown. And he had 273 yards passing. You have too much, and I get it. Mike Williams wasn't there. I understand. But still,
That
is
excuse
too.
only works for so much.
That's too much
Sorry.
talent. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, Gerald. That's too much talent to be losing. And then if you look at the defensive side of the football, you got some of the best players at their positions on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Derwin James, Boza, Mack. It doesn't
You mean Bradley
make
Cooper?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for them to be losing like this and struggling like this.
And you're right. And if it wasn't for the move that the Arizona Cardinals made today, I would have believed you that Sean Payton going to LA was a possibility.
But
I
then
know
we
that
saw what
Sean
happened
Payton
today.
And then I know that Sean Payton probably doesn't want to have to face Patrick Mahomes twice a year. But at the same time, Sean Payton has liked Kyler Murray since Kyler Murray was a draft prospect.
Yep.
And then the
And I
other
mean,
thing is with
Sean-
the GM that Arizona hired today, whatever his name is, starts with a fucking M, Monty or whatever it was in the Patriots organization from 2006 to 2019. The standard that he is going to have as a GM for coaching is a lot higher than people realize. And I think that the ripple effect of that is he is going to be in Bidwell's ear going, look, we need to pay Sean Payton whatever he wants, because this is the only way we have a chance at getting anything out of that $230 million that we got to pay Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Sean Payton will go to Arizona.
Which is fine by me, because that means my Saints are going to with a first round pick, which is fine by me as compensation, because the Saints don't have a first round pick right now.
Third round.
They're looking at a second or a third.
Should be a first.
Well, he only had 2 years left.
Because the Saints has already said that their asking price would be a first round pick.
There looks like there's a pretty nasty injury on the field. They've stopped the game. Both teams are kneeled. Brady's face after it happened looked bad. 17.
But that was a great comeback by Jacksonville. And there's another stat out there that I saw.
Real quick, in that game, I wanted to talk about this real quick. Bosa's
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper's unsportsmanlike conduct foul. I understand why he got it, but I saw this earlier, and I got to say something. I don't think refs should be able – that ref chased him. Bosa was walking off the field. That ref chased him and made a comment, and then Bosa said something, and then he threw a flag. That's crap. That is crap. And then Bosa –
Yeah, it was a little dirty.
It was. And then Bosa had some comments afterwards. I get fined $40,000, and they're in the locker room saying, ha, 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 I got him 15 yards on that asshole, which it's
right.
not far off.
He's right.
Not far off because literally everyone in NFL has accountability. The coaches, the players, the front office, there's some accountability for everyone except the refs. And they missed the call. Bosa should have got a holding call. He got held. And that call could have cost the Chargers that game. Now, I will say the Chargers had a lot of other issues. And I did want to say Trevor Lawrence has the mindset of a Green Beret to put 5 turnovers in the first half out of your head and then dominate that second half to come back like they did.
And shout out to him, too, because according to the stat that I saw, he's never lost on Saturday.
Never lost on Saturday.
Never lost on Saturday.
That's an interesting fact. He's about to, because the Chiefs and the Jaguars play on Saturday.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be the first loss. It's a cart on the field. So
that's gonna be
Russell Gage, wide receiver.
Yeah, you should play for the Falcons.
That's a knee.
Yeah, it looks like a knee injury. So I wanted to say all of these games, Super Wildcard Weekend was super freaking crazy. Like none of these games, every single game was close. Every single game came down to the last few seconds, it seemed like. The fact that the Bills got that close to a third-string quarterback. A third-string quarterback took the Bills the last second to win that game.
That's why you always play the game, because you never know. You never know. And I said it in our chat the other day. I'm starting to think Josh Allen might be a little overrated. I'm really starting to think that with these turnovers and fumbles and sacks, I'm really starting to think Josh just might be a little overrated.
I think he got flustered. I do. Go ahead, Tevin.
I think, and I think he was a little frustrated because he wants it so bad he can taste it. But the reason that I'm out on Josh Allen has nothing to do with the lack of consistency that the Bills have. Has everything to do with what he did yesterday. He's done it multiple times. He picks a fight with someone, and then his teammates have to come in to keep him from getting his fucking face punched in.
Yeah.
Which that was not the dude to be picking a fight with. That dude would have laid Josh out.
That dude takes bigger shits than Josh Allen. I'm just saying.
Josh Allen is big for a QB. He is. He's not a small dude.
He's not a tiny dude, but this move that Josh Allen has when he's frustrated, where he picks a fight with somebody and then walks away while his team deals and takes the penalties. I get in this situation, they just called offsetting penalties and they just kind of did what they did, but it shouldn't have happened. Josh Allen should not have instigated that. Josh Allen, he deserves to get fined for it. And the Bills showed that they have that there is a weakness there, and Cincy can get him again. But since he struggled against a third string quarterback or second string quarterback, so right now that's anybody's game next week.
And just real quick update. It looks like it was a neck and knee injury. They boarded him and carted him off the field. What it looked like is he hurt the knee, and then a Dallas player, came in and got him with a clothesline in the back of the neck.
Okay. But let's go ahead and close that out. Let's move on to Seven's guy, Kirk Cousins.
Wait a minute.
I ain't want a damn thing, Cousins.
I gotta say though, hang on.
Wait a minute. My guy? First
Cousins? I would say he's
First
more my guy.
Go ahead,
Oh
Josie.
man. I've always said he's never been that dude. But when I saw that play where he couldn't get the ball to the sticks, get the ball to the freaking sticks.
Okay, but this is the thing.
Bruh.
This is the thing. I had said all week they were going to lose this game. Other than I have been 100% correct other than this game that's going on right now, and that's just because I can't pick Dallas. I just can't do it. I would have loved both teams to lose this game.
Double disqualification.
But I have been right on every one of my picks for Super Wildcard weekend. But I said it's because Cousins can't play in prime time. However, these were his stats yesterday. 79.5 completion percentage, 273 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions, and a 112.9 passer rating.
Mm-hmm.
That's
still lost.
It's still lost, but he had a good game. He had an almost great game.
But he wasn't great. Go back and look at Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was great. He was exceptional yesterday.
Daniel Jones looked amazing.
He was amazing yesterday. You got to match that. And Kirk Cousins couldn't match that. That man was scoring off design runs. Killing them off design runs. And by the time you figured out what was going on, it was too late.
Sorry. No, and first Cousins does not have that it guy, that it gene, that closing gene in his blood. He just does not have it. And when you look at that, but the problem with Kirk Cousins is if you look at Kirk Cousins statistically, collectively over the course of his career, you start to think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback because he values completions
right
more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he doesn't push it. And that's what's missing from Kirk Cousins is he doesn't push it like he should.
Right.
He would rather have the check down than the first down. And you can't throw a check down throw on a 4th and fucking 8. You just can't do it.
Nope.
So it's at the end of the day, there's going to be people that argue that Kirk Cousins is a Hall of Famer, and he's not.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
He's not.
Oh.
He's not.
Not
Kirk
a
Cousins is
QB.
not
Not
a
a
Hall of
QB.
Famer.
Nowhere near it. He's
Not
nowhere
a QB.
near it. He's nowhere near it.
All right. So,
Well, I do want to say one more thing. I was mad at that coaching staff because you have to find a way to get Justin Jefferson the damn football. I don't care if it's an end around. I don't care whatever it is. You got to find a way to get that man
I watched
the football.
that game.
And I know they doubled him a lot.
They were getting him the ball. It was the fact that even when he did get the ball, they had him sandwiched every time. There was either a guy up top and a guy below, guy to the right, guy to the left.
There was nothing. You got to do some end arounds, some bubble screens, something.
They tried.
If you can't get him up, if you can't get that
man open, and
if you can't get that man open in the flat, like I say, some end arounds, some bubble screens, something. He's too much. He's your main playmaker. Adam Thielen ain't it no more.
Nope.
He ain't it no more.
But the Giants knew that, and they literally did everything they could to stop that man.
Here's what I will say about the Ravens, and I'm going to say this very simply: Lamar Jackson.
Tampa just recovered a onside kick. It's 31-14. Brady. I mean, they still need 2 more touchdowns, but Brady going back on the field. Yeah,
that's only 2 minutes 4 seconds left.
But here's my thing with it is, The truth of the matter is a healthy Lamar Jackson beats the Bengals yesterday.
Yes.
And that's why I say the Bengals slipped out of that one, just like the Bills slipped out of theirs.
Yes.
And so what you're left with is, if you're the Ravens, Lamar Jackson is not walking back onto that field again until he has a long-term contract. He's not signing that tender.
And they did Huntley wrong because how you gonna put that man in that position?
Mm-hmm.
Why you gonna run a quarterback? You get the ball to Dobbins, man.
And there's so many problems with the way that things are going in Baltimore that I would not be surprised to see him refuse to play for Baltimore and demand a trade.
At
this point,
he's somewhere else next year.
Nick Wright is up here talking about Nick Wright is up to trade Justin Fields for Lamar Jackson straight up. I don't know if I do that though.
I could see it though. This is why he said that, because I saw that same. The Ravens now have a total offense built on a running QB. They need a running quarterback for that offense to work. Justin Fields can be that guy. Bears have so much cap space. They can give Lamar everything he wants. And they've got the first round pick.
Get that man some receivers.
So
right, because the Bears have been great at drafting support for quarterbacks and even picking quarterbacks. Let's look at that track record for a second over the last 30 years.
About
right?
as good as
they're
the Texans.
good at that with all these Super Bowls they've won. Okay. It's not the worst idea. But I think that in truth, what you have to do if you're the Ravens is you've got to accept you have to sign Lamar and you have to get talent around him.
Yes.
Because, yes, Justin Fields is a mobile quarterback. But you're going to bring a quarterback that has had issues of his own with injury and coaching issues of his own into another new system, into another new locker room.
With the
And you're going to put him through all of that. This is why I don't like young quarterbacks starting. They need to get time to get ingrained in the system, learn everybody's fucking names. And with everything that Justin Fields has been through in that Chicago Bears organization, the dumbest thing that they could do right now is trade him. At least the dumbest thing for him that could be done is for him to get traded to the Ravens. Because on paper, yeah, it's great. But in reality, that screws Justin Fields.
Oh,
because he still ain't gonna have no receivers.
Nope.
I mean, Duvernay's out hurt. Duvernay is hurt. He might rehab when the season starts, but past him and Mark Andrews, from a receiving standpoint, you really don't have a whole heck of a lot.
The Ravens don't have a choice. They have to sign Lamar and they have to get receivers.
Yeah, gotta sign Lamar, sign him.
You're going to have to take it. You're going to have to bite the tax penalty on going over the cap for a couple of years till you can get your money right. But you're going to have to pay Lamar, so you might as well invest in some receivers because the only way that you're going to get his price tag down is to get some more receivers because he knows he has nobody to throw to right now.
He knows it. It's like he's pretty much saying, okay, I want to throw the ball downfield. I know Mark Andrews there somewhere.
But
I know it there somewhere.
It's why he hasn't come back.
Yep.
What incentive? Shannon Sharp said it this morning on Undisputed. What incentive does Lamar Jackson have to race back right now for this organization?
None.
RG3 did it, and look at what he's doing now.
Yep.
And I hate what Michael Vick said. Because Michael Vick said Lamar needs to put a brace on it and go out there. No, he don't.
No, he
does not. No.
That's because the best part of Michael Vick's career, he was in prison. Yep. And he's looking at it from. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. That's just the fucking truth.
It's true.
And so he has a different perspective on the situation because if he still had the ability, he would be out there playing football right now.
He would.
But he doesn't. Shannon Sharp, who got to go through a full career, he watched the RG3 thing happen. He knows exactly how screwed RG3 got by rushing himself back. And so I will say I've never been 100% on Lamar Jackson, but part of that is because of the lack of talent that he gets. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, but if you don't have some of that dynamic
he's got a
pieces
lot
around
of
him,
weird talent, Kelsey and
Brett Veach is one of the most brilliant
Kelsey, Juju,
GMs in football history.
Kadarius Toney.
Exactly. And so from a football standpoint, Lamar Jackson is exactly right to be putting his foot down right now. And if he walks back onto that field,
You're gonna be paid
without getting paid, without making sure they give him their word that they're going to get him some fucking receivers, he's a fool. He is a fool if he doesn't let them get him some receivers and pay him.
He got hurt because he was having to do so much.
And they do
Exactly.
and they do most running quarterbacks that way. Go back and look at Michael Vick.
Yeah.
The best two receivers that man ever had was Algie Crumpler and Brian Finneran. That's the best two receivers that man had. And then when you go back and look at the running game, he had Ward Dunn and old boy from Michigan State. I cannot remember his name, but past that, he didn't have a whole heck of a lot of help.
But look at what you get out of a running quarterback when you do what the Chiefs have done with Patrick Mahomes and put talent around him so that you're not just relying on his feet.
Yep.
And you actually reinforce your line so he doesn't have to run. You get so much more out of it. That's what all the mistakes that all of these teams have made. And Patrick Mahomes rushed back from an injury because he had talent around him where he knew he would be okay. And the organization was actually properly taking care of him.
But you also saw, too, how much they protected him during that injury. They were doing everything they could. He wasn't getting out of the pocket as much. Like, he was really trying. They were trying to protect him.
Hell, go back and look at Daniel Jones. You know, when you look at Daniel Jones, Dayball is telling him, look at your reads. 1, 2, nothing there, go. And that's exactly what he did. Go. So and he's got some talent. He's got talent around him as well. So that's what they do for Lamar.
Well, for 3-4 years, I've been saying the best running QB quarterbacks are those guys. They're the ones that look for the pass first and then run if they need to. That's what made Lamar great in the beginning. Here lately,
19, baby.
He's not been doing that as much. He's been trying to force the run because, like y'all said, he knows he doesn't have the targets all the time.
And that's the hard part about being Lamar Jackson is because of the fact that he doesn't have those targets, they know he's going to have to run sooner.
Yeah.
But when you look at Daniel Jones, you don't think of somebody that's 6'5" and 230 pounds as a mobile quarterback. That's a tight end. That's a tight end.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Daniel Jones is moving. And if you look at, everybody jokes about that what was that
he tripped himself up. He tripped himself up
last year, the year before. Like, yes, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, but a big man, that's not crazy.
He got every meme in the book for that.
He got
but how many quarterbacks that are built like that? When's the last time Tom Brady did an 80-yard run without fucking up?
Facts.
We were just talking about how someone said recently, Tom is one of the least athletic football players in the league. He's not athletic. He stays in that pocket. That's one of the reasons he's been able to do this so long is he never comes out of the pocket.
He doesn't have to.
Exactly.
Yep, I agree.
I want to get to this game. It just ended, but we got to talk about our boy, Seven. We got to talk about the Purdy mouth.
He ain't my boy.
He
ain't my boy, but they won 41-23 this weekend over the Seattle Seahawks. They won 41-23 over the Seahawks.
Gino is comeback player of the year, hands down. His best season ever. I love Gino. I love what he did with Seattle. But Brock motherfucking Purdy. And it's not just him. Kelsey had a great game. The offensive line, the D-line, everybody.
Well, again, we just talked about it. Look at the position he's in. He got help.
He does. He had help.
He got plenty of help.
He's got the best or the second best tight end in the game right now.
Probably third.
I don't know.
Probably third.
The thing about
who else other than Kelsey would you put ahead of him?
Probably third and Kittle.
I was gonna say, who else other than Kelsey would you put ahead of him?
You got him. You got a healthy Mark Andrews, and then Kittle.
See, but the thing is Mark Andrews is never healthy.
But that's the thing, though. When he was healthy, he was the second best tight end in the league.
Yeah, but right now it is Kittle and Kelsey. And the thing about Kittle is he has something that even Kelsey will admit he can't do. Kittle can block like a motherfucker. He has one of the smoothest blocks for a tight end that I have ever seen. He blocks like a D lineman. But yeah, Brock looked so good in that game. He did.
That man got
He did not get the moment did not get to him. He played an amazing game, kept it close in the first half, and then that second half went off. Even had a rushing touchdown.
But look, that man got look at that roster.
Again,
Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Kittle.
Even Purdy said it.
That man got talent.
Purdy and the coach both said it. It's not just me. The entire team has stepped up. Everybody.
Team right there, though.
But the fact that this rookie, Mr. Irrelevant 2022, has just is now Mr. Relevant and first lowest drafted QB to ever win a playoff game, lowest drafted QB to ever start a playoff game, and a rookie, first rookie to ever beat Tom Brady. Like,
that might be the team right there, y'all. I just say a lot because I'm thinking. Well, I'm thinking 7. I'm thinking.
This is
Giants
my question.
Take Philly. I'm really thinking long and hard.
I don't know.
They might pull it off. They might do it.
That's
a hot team.
That's a hot team
right now.
I mean, my NFC championship is Philly.
That's a hot team right now. It should be Philly and San Fran, but I don't know because
we're gonna get into picks before we.
The Giants look great.
But
the Giants look great this week.
They did look great, but he's still. I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Jalen Hurts is playing some really good ball right now. He's got a fantastic O-line. He's got a great defense. And they just had a week off. And the thing, I don't know. We'll see about that. Before we get into picks, I want to talk about some of the coaching stuff going on. But we got to talk about this game. Tom Brady is out, ladies and gentlemen.
See ya.
He is gone.
He is gone. He is out of there.
As much as I would have loved to see
31-14, baby.
Much as I would have loved to see both teams lose this, and as much as it saddens me that I am 5-1 in picks for Super.
And nothing saddens me about this. I win either way.
That's just it. Like, Brady's out. That makes me happy. So
hey, look. This has been the greatest season ever. In college football, we got no Clemson, we got no Alabama, and in the pros, we got no Tom Brady. You can't beat that.
But I mean, you got to look. I've said it all season. This is not the Brady we're used to. He's been off. First season ever in his career that he's under 500.
Well, hold on. Let me play devil's advocate for a second. We all know Brady is at his best with a good offensive line. That's something he has not had this year.
He did not have it.
He did not have a good offensive line.
He threw an interception in the first quarter.
And that secondary has been suspect all year. Yeah. So he hasn't had his normal array of what he normally has.
Again, as we've said over and over again, you can't put it all on the QB. But Brady is known as the GOAT for a reason. My question to y'all is he done? Or are we seeing it in Miami jersey next year?
No, he's going to Vegas.
I've heard Miami over Vegas.
Nah, he ain't done.
He's going to Vegas. Miami has no incentive to take Tom Brady because if you take Tom Brady, you have to get rid of two, and then you're going to be on a quarterback search in a year or two. Las Vegas knows they're going to need to find a QB already because you're trying to get rid of Derek Carr. Tom Brady makes the most sense because Josh McDaniel wants to save face. This is the only chance that Josh McDaniel has to save face is you bring Tom Brady into Vegas and you make. But the truth of the matter is, he's bringing Tom Brady into the toughest, most tough division of football. The Broncos will be a better team next year. The Chargers are going to have a better coach and are going to have a better team next year. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to continue to get better. So Tom Brady has 6 games a year already that are guaranteed drag out, knockdown brawls on the gridiron. And so now, and Josh McDaniels wants to be able to save face in his division and as a coach.
And they'll pay
Brady
Brady.
will be in Vegas. Oh,
And they'll
yes,
pay
they
Brady.
will.
They'll pay
They
Brady.
will pay him.
And he won't have to deal with any local. You won't have to deal with any income tax in Vegas.
Nope.
Real quick.
And he already got, and he automatically get a better running game, and he automatically get a better passing game with Devontae.
Yep.
And Josh Jacobs is better than anything that the Bucks have right now.
Real quick before we move on to the divisional round playoff picture, I wanted to ask Trey Lance, what do you do? You got
Trade him,
Brock Purdy.
Man, that boy need to show he can stay healthy. That's the first thing.
Well,
They're going to trade him.
I think especially if they win next week, like there is no way you don't give Purdy a full season. There's no way.
My only thing is when you say that, it depends on the ego of the organization, because they went out of their way to draft him, and they want to see what they have in him. So I don't know if I'll definitely go Purdy the way of Purdy next year. If Lance can come back healthy, I think they see what they got in him. But if he gets hurt or if he underperforms, then that's when I think they go back to Purdy.
I don't think you can do that to Purdy especially if they get all the way to the NFC undefeated.
You can.
I don't think it's fair.
Look at Nick Foles. Look at what happened to Nick Foles.
Agreeing. Foles got screwed.
You can. I mean, because they traded draft picks. They traded multiple picks to get Lance up into the fold. So
they got no number one.
Yeah,
or no first round this year.
And they want to see what they have in him. Now, if he gets hurt again, then maybe the injury label gets put on him and you go back to Purdy, which would be fine. But they're gonna see what they have in him.
But you risk. But here's the thing, though, and I think you're probably right. But my question with that is, if you're the 49ers, you are putting yourself at risk of not being able to get any of that value you lost in grabbing him by putting him back on the field. If you get him healthy, there is still a trade market for him.
Yeah.
Because you can you can spend a little more in free agency, because Mr. Relevant is a lot cheaper than what you're going to have to pay Trey Lance as a first round pick.
True.
So I think from a financial standpoint for the 49ers, unless you see something where Brock Purdy just completely falls apart and he walks off the field, kicks Shanahan in the nuts.
If he looks like trash coming up in the next game, I think that might change things. Not that I think he will, but if he look like trash come up in this next game, then I think that tells the tale. But if he
does not look like trash,
he hasn't looked like trash in a minute
at all. Since
6-0
in the NFL.
Like trash in a minute. Look very well.
He looks way better than Mr. Irrelevant should. And
the benefit of a battle-tested quarterback when you have to start a rookie. That's why you should not be drafting guys that have never lost in the first round.
But I'm just thinking that they're gonna want to see what they have in Lance.
No, I get it.
If not, you could see Lance and go. If that's not going to be the case, Jimmy G gone, so somebody gonna have to stay.
You can bring somebody else in.
Because I don't think they keep Jimmy G.
You can grab Gardner Minshew as a backup.
You think Philly give up on him?
They already did.
They gave up on him already.
They already did. I'm sorry. They
I know Hurts came back from injury.
Minshew Mania was a fad. And I get the draw. I love Gardner Minshew. He's great for the game as far as how it looks. But the truth of the matter is, you go grab somebody like Baker Mayfield, Gardner Minshew, that can sit on the bench and be a good backup quarterback, be the Chad Henne to your Patrick Mahomes, and you have to turn Brock Purdy loose. I think that because there is nothing in Trey Lance's college game film or the little bit we've seen out of him in the NFL that makes me think that he is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. I wasn't even in on Trey Lance when he was in college.
Wow, really? Wow.
Brock Purdy is already showing that he can deliver consistently. Now, once you have more game film on him, is that going to change? That's one of those things that you have to be able to question. And how is he going to develop as a player?
Right.
But why are you going to risk a maybe and risk losing draft capital that you can get back out of him or free or other players that you can surround your quarterback with talent with over a guy that has already proven that he can stay cool under pressure and close the fucking deal? I personally that's where I'm at with it. Brock Purdy has earned that spot.
I feel you.
Agreed. Real quick before we get into the playoff, what the playoff picture looks like, Seven, I got to talk about our guy Cliff Kingsbury, looking like a brilliant man right now.
That jugger went up. That jugger went to 1, 2, 3 Cancun and was gone.
No, 1, 2, 3 Thailand.
One way ticket to Thailand.
One way ticket.
Yep.
Making that $5.5 million a year.
That's what I do.
Do you blame him?
Not
That's
at
what
all.
I wouldn't coach.
You know how far that money goes in Thailand?
I looked it up. I actually looked it up because me and my dad were having this conversation. So the way the NFL works is they get a check, 18 checks for the season. If that works that way, it is over 13 million in Thailand money.
Jesus.
Each check.
Jesus.
So he's more than doubling his money sitting on a beach, drinking Mai Tais.
Some Coronas.
With a server that may or may not have a penis, but has certainly a great rap.
And have you seen his girlfriend that he's traveling with?
Oh, she's a smoke show. I mean, when you look like
gorgeous.
an Abercrombie model, your girlfriend's going to be hot too. Like that's just a given.
So the fact is, like, some teams have even reached out to him. A couple of teams reached out to him for head coaching positions. I heard the Texans were interested, but almost half of the NFL teams have reached out to him for OC spots. And he's just like, nope, I'm good.
Well, that's what he is.
Like Seven said, can you blame the man?
And that's what he is as an OC. He's not a head coach.
Agreed.
He can't make adjustments at halftime. His clock management toward the end of games is just crazily bad. That's what he is as an OC. And that's a kind of a hard pill to swallow, being from a head coach going to the OC. That's kind of like a hard pill to swallow.
He was 10-14 as a head coach with Patrick Mahomes in college. He should not be coaching in the NFL anyway. He should be in some fucking D2 school. Go give him the head coaching job for fucking Appalachian State. That's where Cliff Dingleberry should be if he's going to coach.
How the hell that man get the job in the first place?
He'd go take Prime's job at Jackson State.
Oh
God, that would be fucking hilarious.
That'd be hilarious. Every loss he'll get destroyed. Every loss he'll get destroyed.
The smartest thing he can do right now, because the attention on his name and the memory on his name is going to be so fresh for at least a year. You mean to tell me that I can more than double my money in Thailand and spend a year on the beach not doing a goddamn thing?
With my hot ass girlfriend.
Okay. Bye.
Yep.
Somebody was like, hey, I'm going to give you $5 million to go to Thailand for a year and not do anything. I would be gone so quick there wouldn't even be a puff of smoke.
Oh, yeah.
I love you guys. I love doing the podcast. Mental health matters, but my mental health matters most. And if you're going to give me $5 million and a one-way ticket to Thailand, I'm gone.
We gone.
I gone.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Let's go ahead and get into our picks.
All right, so here's the playoff picture in the NFL. We now know it is going to be San Francisco versus Dallas, New York versus the Eagles, Jags versus KC, and Joey B versus Josh A. So, how did y'all do in this round? I went 5-1.
I wasn't here for this.
Well, we didn't pick on show. I'm just saying, like, in your picks, how did y'all do? I went 5-1. My only one was Dallas, and that's just because I can't pick Dallas.
I got them all because on paper Dallas should have won that game. Like logically, if you look at statistics, Dallas is a far better team than the Bucs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And Dax doesn't have 2 bad games in a row, as he just proved, and he had a shitty game last week against Washington. So
he should have fucking been in the game last week against Washington.
He shouldn't have. They should have been resting that entire team. There was no reason. as much as I love me some sunshine, there's no way.
Sunshine
There's no way he
on
beats
the
Pat
cloudy
Mahomes
day.
and the Kansas City Chiefs coming off a bye. So you got Kansas City winning that one. Who y'all got over the Buffs and Bengals?
Bengals are playing real well right now.
I don't know. Joey B had to squeak out that wind.
I still don't trust.
And he lost another offensive lineman in that game.
Yeah, he did.
I saw that.
I'm going to go Bills by a touchdown.
I'm going to go the opposite just because I was living right outside of Cincy. I got to show him some love. I lived there most of the football season. I'm going to go Bengals by a touchdown.
I think burnt toast going to get burnt in this game. Eli Apple's going to get destroyed. He's going to get burnt. I think Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, and the crew is going to put in some work. I'm going to go with the Bills.
I like that.
So y'all got Bills KC for the AFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. On the NFC side, you got New York and the Eagles. We already heard Will's pick on this. He thinks
that's my pick. I'm just saying it looks.
So where are you going, Will?
I'm going Philly, but I'm just saying Giants are playing well. It might be an upset in the making. Might be. Giants looking good. Dayball's coaching, and Dayball's coaching his ass off. So,
coach of the year.
It should be. It should be the Eagles, but I'm just saying. I'm not putting.
I gotta go Philly just because I want a Kelsey Bowl, man. I want to see the Kelsey Bowl. Surely for the New Heights podcast, we'll get coming up to it. But I gotta go with Philly, and then Dallas versus San Francisco.
Everybody taking the 49ers.
I'm taking, by the way, I didn't get to put my pick.
Seven.
I'm taking the Giants. I am going to take the Giants over the Eagles.
What?
They're playing well, man. I'm telling you.
Here's the thing. The reason why, one of the things that you see when you've got something that's working well, if there's not a lot of film on it, it's hard to scheme against it. Nobody has really expected the amount of the impact that Daniel Jones has made on the ground with designed runs and his timing for when he lets the play break down and just fucking goes for it. And I think that when you look at the Eagles, they are not going to be as effective, efficient, if you will, on the Daniel Jones front as as some people think that they are. I have,
since I skipped you, give us your pick for San Francisco Dallas first.
San Francisco Dallas. That is very clearly San Francisco. Dak Prescott has had a lot of progress this year, but that Niners defense is stupid fucking good.
So good.
Stupid good.
So good.
Stupid
Did you
fucking
see
good.
how they just shut down Seattle in the second half? Seattle scored 17 points, looked pretty good in the first half. After that, they couldn't do shit.
San Francisco, I think San Francisco has dreams of getting back to the Super Bowl and actually beating Kansas City this time and not blowing a 20-point lead. But your coach is Mike Shanahan, so unfortunately that's never going to happen.
That's the edge factor right there. I do want to go back and say one thing real quick about Philly, New York. To me, it all depends if that Giants defense can hold up against that Philly offense. If they can contain and give Hurts trouble, they'll be in that game. If they let Philly explode offensively, like they're capable of doing with Brown, Devontae, Sanders, Goddard, if they're able to explode offensively, it puts New York's defense in a bad spot. And I don't know if you'll be able to continue to use that game plan with Daniel Jones because the game is going to be wide open. you might be down 10, 14, 21 points. You might have to abandon that strategy and go strictly back to passing the football. So that's my only call for pause with New York. If that defense can hold up with that Philly offense.
One of the things that's going to be really tough for New York with that is Philly has one of the best O-lines in football this season. Like Jason Kelsey, that entire O-line is Pro Bowl, every single one of them.
And then if you do get the Hurts, what's Hurts gonna do? He's gonna turn it right around and go for 20.
Run around and go for 20. So that's my thing, and that's why I'm taking Philly. On the Dallas San Francisco, again, I can't pick Dallas to win anything, but also my boy, the Purdy Mouse. We have the Purdy Mouse up in here, and I think he at least is going to an NFC Championship game. I think the NFC Championship is going to be San Francisco Eagles.
I just think the 49ers defense is too tough. I think they're going to contain CeeDee Lamb. They're going to be able to stop the run from Ezekiel Elliott. Tony Pollard to get his because he catches the ball at the backfield. Dalton Schultz is a good tight end, but I think you can contain him. So I'm going with the 49ers.
So I like it. We got 49ers, Eagles. I think everybody here is. Did you say 49ers?
Seven pick the Giants.
You did get the Giants. All right. So me and Will say 49ers, Eagles, NFC Championship. 7 says the Giants, 49ers, NFC Championship. And then Bengals, Chiefs, and then I know 7 just don't want to pick that because Joey B be that kryptonite for the Chiefs.
Not only that, but
I want the Bills. I don't, you know what? Here's the thing. This year, I don't want to fuck around. You know what, Joey B, I respect you enough that I'm rooting for the Bills because Josh Allen will crumble and pick a fight and Chris Jones will choke slam
big time. Crumble big time.
I want the Bills. I want the Bills. And I think that it's going to be the Bills because of that one. If they didn't lose their third offensive lineman in 3 weeks, I think we have a much bigger shot of that being the pick'em game. But it's the Bills are going to do that because of they're still same problem again that Cincinnati's dealt with. They're still having offensive line problems.
I mean, and my issue you saw a resurgence of what was going on in the early season. Joey got sacked 3 times in that game. 3 times. 4 times. I'm sorry. 4 times.
My only cause for pause with the Bills, they need to not run Josh Allen. They need to start using their running backs. If you go back and look at Singletary, and if you go back and look at the other running backs, they're not getting that many carries a game. And it's
Josh
like they're more out there
because he's not getting the O-line. He's got his pocket keeps breaking down.
They're more in there for blocking than anything else. And I don't like to really see the Buffalo Bills establish a run game. I mean, hell, Singletary ran last game 10 carries for 48 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I would really like to see them run the football a little bit more.
They don't have a run game outside of Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a team's leading rusher. And I think that's one of the changes they got to make in the offseason is they've got to really adjust their scheme because with how hard Josh Allen runs and how players hit him because of his mouth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you've got to get some protection around him and you got to get him a running back because he cannot be running like that. He's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, you need it. And how the hell are you supposed to keep things to beat the Chiefs? You got to mix it up. You just can't go pass for pass, stride for stride. You got to run the football to keep those boys off the field, and they're not doing it.
That's the other reason that I want because I'd much rather face Devin Singletary and Josh Allen than Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon.
Yeah,
hands down. No, I will say that honestly because I want to get back to the Super Bowl. Right. I'm not wanting Boogeyman Joe Burrow on my doorstep again. I'd rather play at a neutral site in Atlanta.
He said Boogeyman.
If there is one kryptonite to Pat Mahomes, it's Joe Burrow. It is.
It's Swaggy Joe. But also the other reason why is if it's the Bills, then they're playing in Atlanta.
Yeah,
it doesn't take very much research to see how good Pat Mahomes is in a dome where he doesn't have anything affecting where his ball's going, but what he's doing with it.
Yep. Yeah. No wind conditions. Yep.
So
I'm just saying.
Yep.
Well, It was a crazy super wild card weekend. One of the craziest I can remember in a long time. Games I thought were going to be blowouts were just not at all. There wasn't one. The biggest blowout was the game we just saw. So I'm be surprised if we don't see some crazy games again. Maybe not. Maybe the divisional round is going to be quiet and
Nah.
I don't see it. I don't
don't
see
see
it.
it.
I think that Philly and Giants game is going to be noisy enough. Trust me.
Yeah, that's going to be noisy. I think it's going to be noisy.
I think that depending on, I think both of the NFC games actually are going to be I think
Every
the only
single
game that's
game.
not. I think the game that will make the least noise is the Chiefs and the Jags because it's going to be a 10-point game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I love me some sunshine. I love what the Jags are doing. They are going to be a dominant team for years to come if they keep improving like
Kansas City
they
can't
are.
take them boys lightly, though. Don't take
Oh
them
no,
boys lightly.
exactly.
Yeah, no.
Take them boys lightly.
If Sunshine proved one thing, it's that you can never count him out.
No, don't take those boys lightly, man.
Like
Zay Jones,
I said,
hey,
he's got the mindset of a special forces man. Like just the way he was able to just put it away and come
Travis
back.
Etienne, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram. Don't count them boys short.
Doug Peterson should be coach of the year. If
He
anybody
should
else
be.
gets coach of the year,
He should be. He
Dougie
should
P
be.
should be coach of the
Yeah.
year. But
I agree.
and so yes, Kansas City has to take them seriously, but that's a 10-point game. But Bills Bengals,
easy.
with how they've both been playing and the fact that Bengals just lost their tight end or their that third offensive lineman in 3 weeks, that's going to be a 1-score game. The Eagles and the Giants, 1-score game.
Yeah.
And I even say because of the fact that this will be a defensive contest between the Niners and the Cowboys, it will be a 1-score game.
I say
Both teams are playing good
3
defense right now.
points. That
Both
one
teams
is a
are playing good
3-point
defense
game.
right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
To what both of you said.
I think Trayvon Diggs, but it might misjudge nothing because it could be one pass that kills him.
It will be one pass. And honestly, I
pass.
think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
He's gonna overdo something, or he's gonna sit under something that he should have gone deep on, and he's gonna get burnt. He's gonna be the NFC's Eli Apple.
Yep. Toast.
Real quick, out of the two, Dougie P or the coach for the New York Giants, coach of the year?
Dougie P.
I think Dougie P got it.
Dougie
Yeah.
P.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy
Dable's great.
Dable has had an amazing season, but what Dougie has done after going 3-15 last season, the fact that they have come around and won 7 straight and all that, Trevor Lawrence is looking amazing, finally getting locked in. Like I said, I think their season's going to be over after this round, but I could see AFC Championship in their future next
You can see
season.
some things to come. You can definitely see some things to come.
I'm going to close with this. In that Jacksonville Jaguars game, there was one play that Doug Peterson called as a 4th down play. Looked like it was going to be a QB sneak, and it ended up being a run. It ended up being the game-winning play. Ultimately, it was the run that ended where they instead of it being a sneak, they brought him around. And he got like fucking 30 yards.
And then they kicked it.
That is an Andy Reid. That's the Andy Reid effect on the NFL on the football because Doug Peterson came from the Andy Reid tree. Yeah, he was an Andy Reid disciple. That play screen. The first thing I thought of was that is Andy Reid's touch on the game in another one.
Yep.
So all the respect to Dougie P for what he did. He coached a great fucking game. Kudos to Trevor Lawrence for keeping a cool head. And also, as always, as I wrap up, remember. Oh yeah. And always, as I wrap up, remember the Reaver rule.
Weaver rule, baby. Guys, thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Sports Report. Make sure you tune in to all of our great content that we have weekly. Sports Report on Mondays, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Fight Night on Tuesdays, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Hardwood on Wednesdays, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. After Dark on Thursdays, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And returning at the end of February 7th.
Yeah, last Sunday in February.
Last Sunday of February, winter meetings, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Make sure you tune in for that. And then just follow, share, follow us on Facebook. We're always sharing content. We got merch coming soon, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. Big things coming for the Sports Report in 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're
New sponsor announcement this week too. We just
new
got to get the video done.
sponsor.
Yep.
I'm about to start working on that right now. So, all right, guys, y'all have a wonderful night, and we will see y'all tomorrow for our pay-per-view watch back, Royal Rumble 2000. Make sure you tune in for that.
Later, guys.